again, you can see that this is the dashboard. There is no upcoming event as this teacher is. All right. And I can see out here dashboard, site home. I can see Indus Business Academy and so on. Okay, so now let's say we want to create a event out here. Okay, yeah. So I say new event. Okay, let's say new teacher training program. Okay, I'll click on show more. Okay, so let's say tomorrow we are going to do a teachers training program. Tomorrow is 19th. Okay, say in the morning at 9 o'clock. Okay, now look at this. User, group and course. Now suppose I want to limit it only to the faculty members. So I will click group. All right. And this is where you can now, here is the first which course the group belongs to. If you look at it, you can see all the courses out here that I belong to as a teacher. I can't see anybody else's courses. So which means that there is security. Nobody can create an event in somebody else's course. You can only create an event in a course that you belong to. So in orientation program, I have created a lot of groups. And you can see all the groups out here. You can see section A, section B, section C, D, and E. And you can see faculty. So if I click on the faculty group, this is the group, this is the faculty group. All right. Then I can say advanced training. I can give the Zoom location here. So once I know the Zoom location, I can put all the Zoom locations here. I can give a duration or from 19th, I can set it up till say 10 o'clock or 10:30. All right. And if I want to repeat, I can repeat or else I can save. I hope I have done the right thing. Let us see. It says there's no upcoming event. It's taking a bit of time to refresh, as you can see on the left-hand side. Okay, it still says there is no upcoming event. Did I make a mistake? Today is the 18th, tomorrow is the 19th, right? Oh, that is because I am not part of the faculty cohort, so I can't see it. Okay, are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, no? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine. I am again going to create another event so that Bhanu ma'am can understand this. The reason why I put Bhanu ma'am there is because after this, she will be putting all the events out here, okay, so that it becomes easier for all of us, okay, to handle this. Now, if I take a new event, and this time instead of a group, okay, I am going to put it for the entire batch or for the entire course. Okay, so I'm just going to say testing event. I'm going to set it up for say today at 7 o'clock. Okay, this is how you can set up your calendar and this is how you can set up your lessons and things like that. Now I'm going to say an event for an entire course. Okay, now I can search the courses that I belong to, say orientation program. Okay, and this is a test, please ignore. Okay, Zoom, or you can save later on here CR1. Okay, you can say until today, say 9 o'clock or whatever it is, and I can save it. Okay, I'm very keen that you understand the calendar. Okay, because this is how you are going to set up everything for the students. Okay, now you can see it's out here.
Sir,
Okay.
is it possible to increase the font size?
Sir, more?
Yeah, now it is fine.
No, I'll show you in a better place. No,
Okay.
I'll go to dashboard. See, you can see the calendar at zillions of places. Now you can see this testing event, it has come. Okay, so all the students will be able to see, yeah, all their upcoming events that they are entitled to see. Are we clear on that? All right, so I'm now going to delete this event. I don't want the students to suddenly get very confused. All right, great. So we are done with the event. So let's start with course. Now, in order to create a new course, and for Srinath sir who has joined us today, I have already created a course for him, but it goes for everybody. When you click on all courses, you will get a request a course out here. As soon as you click request a course, and Bhanu ma'am, you can also create these courses for visiting faculty. You can put a course name out here. I'm not going to save this. So a course in personality development. Okay. Put a course name. Now, this is something that I want everybody to understand. Advanced retail, for example, will happen multiple number of times. And if I'm searching for advanced retail, I'll get confused which one is mine. Okay, so you should always put the batch number before that. Now, for example, marketing is taught by multiple number of teachers. Therefore, we should be putting the initials of the person out here, or at least the full name. The course short name is very important, and we should always use this format so that there is some standardization out here. Okay. Now, this is important. You can see the following out here. Okay, and the only reason you can see this is because you have a privilege only to see this. If I have hidden a particular course category, you can't see it. So you have to put it into the right category. Suppose, for example, it is orientation program right now. So everything that is being created for the orientation program. Bhanumati ma'am and Ramesh sir, can you please close your video?
Okay, sir.
No problem, sir. It's just a bandwidth issue. I'm working with very low bandwidth.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. Anumati ma'am, you also please. Just say stop video somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you put a summary of the course. Now many of you are putting huge summaries of courses. Okay, please do not put massive summaries of courses. They will all be seen on the screen and it becomes unreadable. So write at best a small paragraph about what this course is about. Here you just put haha or whatever it is mandatory, so you have to put it. But I don't need any reason as to why you want this course. You want this course, you get it. And then you click request a course. Has
Okay, sir,
everybody understood that? Yes, sir?
Sir, one question here. See,
Yeah.
EGP always have a course code, most all the courses. Why require to enter the short code in the short name there? Because
Sorry, you can put that. It's just the course numbers names are not readable. I mean, once we standardize on the course numbers, I'm sure you can put that. But there is a separate thing called a course ID. Okay, which I'll show you later.
Because
right.
most of the timetable comes with code and all, that's where we can sync up that in Moodle.
I'm telling you, you can either put it here or you can put it in the course ID. All right. But that timetable and this timetable is irrelevant because in the timetable, you're not seeing course ID.
Yeah.
You're actually seeing either the short name or the full name.
Okay.
So it is always good for a user to be user friendly. Okay, to give them as much information as possible in one shot.
All right.
All right.
Uh,
So I'm not going to create the course because this course has already been created. Plus, I will have to log in as a super user. So let's assume that this course has been created called test course. Now this is an absolutely blank course that I have created. Okay, and that is what you guys will see. This is a new course. Now, as I said before, the left-hand side here keeps changing based on what you are doing. Now, because this is the top level of the course, and the course and the subject is the same thing. Again, I will repeat that. Okay, I can see course administration here. Now, there are two edits here, and both of them are different. Edit settings is used to change the settings of the course details. I will click on this and I will tell you what it means. This is where when you had asked for the course, you had put this and you had put this and nothing else. Now you can see a lot of additional details. Okay, so if you have missed writing the name correctly, this is where you can put all these things. And this is very nice to do because it makes it much more readable for students, and later on maintenance becomes much better for me. So sometimes I get very annoyed, okay, because I don't know which batch it belongs to when I'm trying to do cleanup. I also don't know which trimester it belongs to, which is why sometimes, like what uh, Murlidhar said, sir said, that it might be nice to put the trimester also here, then it becomes easy to put it. Okay, I can put it into various places, the various categories. I can change the categories if I put the wrong one. This comes in useful when I'm importing a course for next year. It is possible that digital marketing may be done in trimester 5 instead of trimester 4. So when I'm importing, it might show trimester 4 and I can modify it then to move it to trimester 5. Now, in all your cases for the orientation program, you would see this default. And you have to modify it so that the course end date becomes the right end date. All right. And this is where you put the course ID. So you might have PD 201 or whatever it is. The problem again with this is that if I don't have a batch here, PD201 will get repeated 20 number of times. And if the ID number is not unique, this will not get saved. All right. It is not mandatory to put it. As you can see, these are the only two very mandatory courses. You can modify the course detail if you want. If you put a picture out here, suppose I put Smita ma'am's picture out here, then what default picture that you were seeing out there for the course, that will get changed with this. Here you can write in big letters, marketing analytics or something like that, or have a picture of brand management or something, and it might become much easier. Now you come to something called course format. Now each course, as you said, as you saw, it was like topic 1, 2, 3, 4. You can either have it as topic, or you can have it as weeks, or you can have something called social, which I don't know much about. I can do a question mark out here, it tells you. Social format is only for creating a lot of forums. So we don't need that. So we either do it by topic or we do it by week. For example, Shetty sir has done it by topic. Okay, so he has planogram as a topic, and he has got lessons for planogram. He has got a test for planogram. Then he has gone to visual merchandising as a topic, and he has put a lesson and a test for that, etc., etc. I do it typically by weeks, so that for 11 weeks, people know what they have to do every week. It is totally up to you. Okay, and it doesn't really matter. Okay. Now, appearance, all that is fine. Okay, how much files you want to upload, do you want groups or not, etc. And then you can save. So now you can see the course name has changed. All right. Now, editing, the second one, which is very important. I'm going through these because these are all important. Okay. Editing is to edit all this. All right. If I turn the editing off, then watch what happens. You can see nothing. Now it is like how the student will see it. Okay, in order to modify any of these things or in order to add an activity, you have to turn the editing off, which means now I am editing the contents of that course, not the description of the course, the contents of the course. So this was the description of the course. This is the contents of the course. All right. And I will come back to this later on. The third thing is, and this is a very important question, in most of your cases, I have already created the users in your course. For example, if I go to orientation program, you will see that all the users have been created. Okay, if I look at the list of the enrolled users, all the students are already there. So now what is happening is, for example, in the orientation program, many things had been put out here. Now the students can see these. So sometimes what we do is we create the entire course first and then we allow the students to enter. Okay. Or in this case, what has happened is we have created the students first because I needed to create all the courses and I needed to add all the students. So I added all the students. Now, unfortunately, the students might be able to see this. That is where this editing comes in useful, because what I have done here is I have hidden this particular thing. So now you can see that it is hidden from the students. Nandish sir, you can see this? Hello? Hello, I am audible? Not audible? Hello, have I lost everybody? Oh, good God.
Sir, your
Sorry,
voice
have I
is,
lost everybody?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
we
your
were not
voice is
able to hear, sir.
breaking.
My voice is breaking. Okay, my internet connection is pretty bad. Which
Hmm.
part did I break?
You were
About a
just
minute
showing
back.
about that editing portion.
I was talking about the hidden thing, right?
No, so
Yes.
user.
I was talking about the users.
Yes.
All right,
Sir.
so let me go back there. Let me share the screen again. All right, you can see the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, I have 3 courses here, so I am going to explain each one. Did I talk about turning editing on and off?
You
Yes,
just
No,
sir.
sir. Before that, you got stuck.
I got stuck there itself. All
No,
right.
turning editing on and off was done. Done.
Yes.
All right. So if I turn the editing off, okay, then you can't see anything and you can't modify any of these things.
Hmm.
All right. That is by
Yes, sir.
default how you should keep it. Otherwise, just in case you delete something. Now, you can see that there are 2 extra things out here. Okay. And you can see that it is hidden from the students.
Hmm.
All right. That means that although I am creating new activities, I don't want the students to see them. So I can create all my tests, I can create all my lessons, I can create everything, and I can hide them from the students so that the students can't see it. The beauty of this is that you can create, say, 200 tests, and you can decide which 10 tests you want to give to the student, and the rest of the test you can keep out there for some different batch. Okay, so you hide what you want to hide, you show what you want to show, and that is what the student will see. I'm just going to shift back to the student screen so that you can see what the student screen looks like. Okay, can you see the student screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
we are
am
getting
going,
teacher screen.
sorry,
Sir, you can increase the font.
Teacher on IBA.
It is teacher only, sir.
it is teacher only.
Teacher
Yeah.
on
You're right.
IBA.
You're absolutely correct. My apologies. I have so many screens out here. IBA, LMS, detailed. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see. Is this the right one? Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. If I go to orientation program here as a student, you can see that I cannot see those hidden things.
Hmm.
Okay, now I am going to unhide it. Give me some seconds. I mean, my speeds are pathetic. Okay, and I am going to refresh this screen. And now you see, I can see this. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the beauty of this is that you can create all your lessons, but you don't want to give advance warning to the students what is going to come and when is the test and things like that. Hide everything. When you hide everything, it will be hidden from the calendar also. Okay, it will be hidden from the grade book also. It will be hidden from everything except you.
So now the students can see this diagnostic test and all that.
No, the diagnostic test was done yesterday, madam.
Now that's what that screen. What is there now? Actual screen. This is the visual screen
This
for
is
the
what
student.
this is what a student will be seeing. Now the thing is that BKB sir had created this accounting course descriptor. Okay, which I felt was not relevant to the students. So discussing with BKB sir, I hid that. Okay, I just brought it out here in order to show you, okay, that how hiding and non-hiding works.
Sir, I want to interfere.
Yes, sir.
This
Interrupt.
accounting course descriptor, yesterday you told me I made a mistake. Can you show me the mistake so that I can rectify?
No, not now.
Okay.
Okay, the reason is then this will get a bit hijacked.
Okay.
Okay, and you will understand what the mistake is sort of as soon as I talk about what are the different types of activities.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Okay, here I am only explaining at a very top level so that when you guys are creating your courses, you can create a lot of things in advance and hide them so that the student does not see it. But so you can have lots of works in progress. For example, you are creating lots of quizzes, okay, and you can keep that hidden and you can keep working on it and the student will never come to know.
Which is that hide key, sir? Once again,
I will come back to this, sir. I will just, I'm just going there. All right.
Yeah.
This was a student, a screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is why. Now I always get confused which one is my screen. Okay. All right. Now I am back to the teacher screen. I hope you can see that.
Yes.
All right. Now you can see that accounting course descriptor here is not hidden, but the basic accounting thing is hidden.
Yes, sir.
So here, if I go out here to the edit, and there I can see hide.
Oh.
Sir, can you increase the font a little more?
Or more? My God. Sir,
in student side, we are able to see very clearly, but not here.
Is that okay now?
Yeah.
All right, sir. So here in edit, if I say show, then you can see it. Okay, if I say hide, it will be hidden. And you can see it is hidden from the students.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so this is important. Now, why did we do this? Okay, this was in order to show what does edit mean. Now look at users. Okay, there are many ways of enrolling a user into your course. Now, currently what I have done is I have deliberately enrolled them into your course, and I will show you how I have enrolled them.
Yes, sir. We're not able to hear you again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Maybe bandwidth is a challenge.
Yes, can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me now? Okay, I am back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
My apologies. I am in pretty bad shape.
Sir, this
Okay.
is a new normal. Don't worry.
Yes, it is a new normal, but I crib about students that they should improve their bandwidth and this and that, and then I am also guilty of the same.
No problem.
Okay, so unfortunate part is that. Okay, thank you, Srinath sir. Okay. Okay, my host has disabled my participant sharing. That is because somebody else has become the host now. MJ sir is the host. Sir, please make me co-host. Don't make me host. Okay, since until I get a host, what do you call privilege, I can't do
You cannot
anything.
share the screen.
I cannot share the screen. Yes. Okay, this tightening up of things is. I still
But
can't.
recording is on now, sir.
Yes, my
No.
recording
Yeah.
is on. I have done a recording at my level. So, okay. Okay, my dog has come in.
Mhm.
Okay, and now my dog is gone. I still can't share the screen. I think Shubhendu sir has left or what. Let me just talk to him.
We'll wait, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I have sent a message to him. I am asking him to make other people co-host also, so that we have 2 or 3 co-hosts just in case. I thought it should shift to somebody, but I think it got shifted back to Shubhendu sir.
Hmm.
So I'm still waiting. Should I call him?
You can just call, sir. Otherwise, Bana madam can.
I mean, this is not really a Banu madam issue, is it? Excuse me while I put myself.
Hmm.
What's the name of your dog, sir? Not Murlay.
All right, I am now co-host, and Nandish sir, you're also co-host, just in case Well, I get disconnected again.
Okay, fine, sir.
All right. All right. So I'm sharing screen again. To this, yes. All right. You can see enrollment methods. All right. Now there are essentially three types of enrollments. One is what is called manual enrollment, where you can manually put a person inside. Okay. Now the second one is what is called self-enrollment, where you can set it up so that the student himself enrolls into the course. And the third is called a cohort enrollment, okay, where you predetermine, where the pre-decided groups, which are called cohorts in Moodle, the cohorts can be enrolled. Okay, so let me show you by example. You can see that the teachers out here are enrolled, 20 of them. Now, whenever I add a new teacher to the group, okay, now that teacher is available all across the site. All right. So when I add a new teacher and I put them into a cohort, automatically that teacher will get enrolled into this course. So as new students come in and I put them into new sections, automatically they will get enrolled into all the courses in which I have put that section. Is that clear? Or do you want me to explain it again? Because it's a bit of a difficult concept to understand.
Sir, you can repeat once.
I will repeat it again. All right. Let me whiteboard it so that you understand it better. Okay, I'm sharing a whiteboard now. Okay, so I have users in Moodle. Okay, I can put all these users into a cohort called, say, A. I can put all these users in a cohort called, say, faculty. All right, and I can have other users. Now, this entire set can be put into another group, which is called a cohort, okay, called IBA. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we can create multiple cohorts and a person can belong to many cohorts. So you can belong to a section, you can belong to a batch, you can belong to a specialization, okay, and so on. Is that making sense? Yes or no? So
Yeah.
faculty is also a cohort. Okay, so whenever a new user is created in Moodle, he may not belong to a cohort, but typically we will put him into a cohort because he has some purpose in Moodle. So if he is a faculty member, I'll put them into a faculty cohort. If he is a student, I will put him into the batch cohort. If I know what section is supposed to go into, I'll put it into that section cohort also. And if I know his specialization in second year, I will put him into that specializations also. Now, as you know, sections will change each trimester. So for every trimester, I have a separate cohort. So historically, I will have for each batch 6 trimesters, and in each trimester with 3 sections, and I will have that many cohorts. So it is an overhead for me, but creating groups makes it easier to everybody. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Sir, mentoring is a one cohort or how we to manage that?
Sir, mentoring is a very interesting one. I will not create cohorts for that.
Okay.
Because you will create a course, and I know that you have already created a course for yourself. Yeah. And in mentoring, you will manually add your mentees.
Okay. It
Okay.
cannot be a cohort. Okay.
You can make it a cohort, but there's no point there because it will only be used once.
Okay.
If you look at a section will be used across many courses or many subjects.
No.
Right. So the purpose of creating cohorts is so that you can use it across the system. Have you understood that?
Yes.
Okay. So if you look at the teachers, this is not the cohort. These are the groups. So please understand this, and it is very important for you that in a particular course, you might have small groups, for example, for presentations. Okay. So all of them belong to a section cohort and they have been enrolled into your course. But then you can create your own groups inside your course based on how you want to set it up. Okay, so if you have group assignments, you might create groups out there. The advantage of that is you can grade them on groups. So for each group, if you give a marks, then everybody in the group will get the same marks. All right. So I will not go more in cohorts right now. Okay, but I'm just explaining to you that we enroll students and we enroll the teachers into a particular course. If I show you, for example, Shetty Sirs. Okay. In the case of Shetty Sir, if I look at the users.
Can we go out of the whiteboard, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. My apologies. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Can you see this now?
Yeah.
Now, this is advanced retail. This is Shetty Sir's course. Okay. Now, if you look at Shetty Sir's course, okay, I have a batch cohort called 2019-21 and all 178 of them have been automatically put inside. All right. But I have two manual enrollments. One was Shetty Sir himself and one is me, that a teacher in LMS, which I have temporarily put out here in order to show things. Has everybody understood what users are and enrollment is?
Yes, sir.
All right. You don't have to bother too much about it. This is more of a top level thing so that you understand what it means. All right. So we are now done with all these things. All right. So now let us go back to this test course and let us enroll people in this. So I go to users. Okay. And if I look at the enrolled users right now, only one guy will be there. That is the teacher. All right. Now I can say enroll. All right. Now I can manually enroll somebody. I can say, for example, Smita ma'am. All right. And I can decide whether she is going to be a teacher or whether she is going to be a student. All right. So let's say she is going to be a teacher. I don't know why it's non-editing. Achha, I know why it is, but leave it. Okay. Yeah. And I can enroll. So now
Because you
you
have
can.
not taken the full name, it is becoming non-editing teacher, sir.
No, sir. A teacher
No,
does
no,
not
no.
have ability to create another teacher. A manager has ability to create another teacher.
Okay.
Okay. A teacher can create a student and a non-editing teacher. A non-editing teacher is like a tutor. Okay. They can do very limited things in the course. Okay. And they are sort of an assistant teacher, not the main teacher. So you can allow them to grade some activities and not other activities. You can give them some privileges, but they don't have complete privileges.
Is it more like academic associates supporting
Yes, sir.
I am
Like your
professor?
RAs and all those stuff. All
Okay,
those
okay.
people are
Got it.
generally put as non-editing teachers.
Got it.
All right. Now, just for the heck of it, I'm going to add one more. Let's say, okay, no suggestions for Shreya. That is interesting.
No, no teacher, no student name.
No student name. Okay, why?
There are 3 students.
So
There,
in
there are actually
1921
more, even Shreyash should come and so on and so forth. Okay, that's probably because of privileges. Yeah, but that's fine. Okay, let's just add, say, Bhanu ma'am. Okay, and I add her like a student. Okay, so you can see that she is a student, non-editing
Yes, sir.
teacher, etc. Okay, and you can actually delete them, you can modify them, all those things you can do.
Oh.
All right, I can select, for example, all these two, and with selected users, I can do a lot of things. I can send them a message.
Hmm.
Okay, I can download their data. Okay, or I can delete them.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
can you enroll a new batch now, 1 or 2 students?
That's
Are
what
they
I'm
visible
trying to
there?
do. That's what I'm trying to do. I think there is a privilege issue, but let me just see. Okay, you can see all this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cohort.
so these are the cohorts that I have created. 1921, BA Finance, BA Marketing, Finance Marketing, HR Marketing, etc. And you can see these cohorts. You can see the entire batch here. This is what was done with SIRS, this thing.
Hmm.
Okay, and you can see the entire batch of 2022 here.
Hmm.
And you can see faculty and you can see IBA staff, in which I think only Bhanu ma'am is there right now. All right.
This is section wise you have created the cohorts for the
Yes,
new
ma'am.
batch.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
because this is a new system, so it only has 1921 and 2022. In the IBA system inside the campus, it is there from last 10 years.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So let me just add IBA stuff, or should I, do you want me to add the whole section?
Section A 2020 batch.
Section, sir, section.
Okay. I'm just adding E for the sake of it. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I assign them student. Be very careful. Huh? Don't make them teachers. All right. And you
Yeah.
say enroll.
Okay.
Now you see everybody has come.
Okay. 30.
Sorry? Yeah.
That all 30 will be
30
here.
plus 1, me.
Okay.
All right. Now you can, with each one of them, you can select these two, for example, and you can send them a message.
Okay.
Or you can select all of them and you can send them a message. Okay, so this is how you communicate.
Okay.
Is that making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Now suppose I want to delete all of them. Okay, so that is one more thing. Now let's, so you have to select all of them. Make sure that you are yourself not selected. Okay, so you show 31. I have not tested this, but I am hoping that you can't delete yourself. Okay, but if you do, then scream. Okay, it's very slow, so yeah.
Okay.
I am going to remove myself from this list. And with all of them, you delete. All right.
Okay.
Now you have understood how to create users.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now you can create your own groups inside this.
Okay.
Okay. Now what has happened is I have already created a group called cohort, but you can create your own group.
Okay.
Okay. For example, let's say group name.
Menti group.
Okay. Mentee group, just for the heck of it. And you can give it some ID. etc., etc. Now this is interesting, and I don't want to get too much into detail. If you want only your mentees to get into this group, you can create a key out here. If you give them the key, then only they can become part of the group. Otherwise, they will not be able to become part of the group. All right, and you can create this. Now remember, I have removed all the users. Otherwise, I can take this mentee group and I can add, remove users, and I can start putting people into this group. So you can see there's only one person there. I can actually add that person into this group. Are we clear on this?
Yes.
All right. So I'm not going to do this. But this is just to give you an example of what is possible in this. And this is just, we are just setting it up. All right. Now I'm
Yes,
going
sir.
to remove both of these groups. There was also a way of auto creating groups. Okay, so if you have all the students there, you can actually create, you can say that I want to create 10 groups. Okay, and you can say what is the group number name. You can say, for example, advanced retail at something like that. Okay, and how many groups do you want? You want to create on the basis of number of groups or number of people per group. You can decide on that. You can say how many persons you want it, and you can say create, and it will randomly create groups for you. All right. Okay. So I'm moving away from all this stuff and I'm going back into important things just to give you a review. All right. So what have we done? We have done this, we have done this, we have done this. Okay. I am not going to focus on all this. I will at best focus on the question bank towards the end. All right. Now you look at these. These were created by topics. Okay. If I click on this, I can change the topic and let's call this topic branding basics, and I press enter. Okay, now I have branding basics. I can create this topic as basic. Okay. What is it? What is the debit what comes in and credit what goes out? What are all those called?
Golden rules of accounts.
All right, thank you. Golden rules of accounts. Okay, 3, leadership. 4, Kanban. I'm just taking the 4 major. Sorry, Murlidhar sir. Okay, but let's do that also. I have created 4 topics here. I want to add one more topic. I can click add topic. I can say how many more topics I want. Let's say 2 topics, and I can say this.
Sir,
Now you can see 2 more have come. And I can take this and say customer analytics. Hopefully I've taken care of all specializations except Charlu sir. Okay, and here I'll call Blue Ocean strategy, although I hate this particular strategy, but nonetheless. Okay, every time I see Blue Ocean, I say Doob Maro. All right. Okay,
Then you take the red ocean, sir.
Yes, I'm sure we have. Okay, so now we have 6 topics. Now, instead of topics, you could say week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and as soon as you do that, and I'm going to like just refresh it for you.
And one careful observation here, sir. Actually, until unless we press enter, many times many users.
This is a very terrible one. It says here escape to cancel, enter to finish. So if, for example, in branding basics, the B is not in capital and I take this. Okay. If I click or if I do anything, it will not be saved. I have to press enter.
Oh.
Okay. Otherwise, you will see I wrote everything and it is gone. It is back to topic 1 again. All right. And you can see all of them here. It has not refreshed itself here. Okay, so if I click a refresh here, you will see branding basics has come here. All right.
Mm.
Okay, great. Now,
Sir,
within this, sorry.
Sir, one small question. We
Yes,
can
sir.
give week 1 and branding basics can also be done, right?
Yeah. This is
Okay.
totally up to you.
Okay. Got it.
All right. You can even have subtopics under it. If I'm not mistaken, there was a methodology of doing that. Okay, but I can't see that anymore. Okay, I think I've not set
It's
it
fine,
up.
sir. We'll move on now.
Yeah. All right. Now we come to this very important thing. Okay, now first and foremost, you know that you can hide them, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so the second thing is this one, adding a topic. Now let's go to this. Do not use assignment, do not use active quiz, do not use chat, do not use database, do not use forum, and very importantly, do not use lesson.
In what
And the
should we
reason is
use?
because they are very complex.
Hmm.
All right. Focus on quiz. Focus
Quiz.
on feedback if you want some feedback from them. Focus on choice, which is a very quick and dirty questions. Like for example, in the middle of the course, you can suddenly show a choice and say, okay guys, give me very quickly the answers out here, and based on that you can figure out whether the people are doing a good job of understanding you or not, and then based on that you can do course correction. Choice is like a very small MCQ, only one question, multiple choices. All right. And
Because one question here.
yeah,
Before we get into topic, we have a session plan. Normally we prepare, entirely Word file and all.
right.
So where we can upload that? Or,
You can't upload. You have to cut paste it in.
okay.
All right.
In the course itself.
No, hang on. There are two ways of doing it. So I'll tell you this. Okay.
We have
So
done
these are the activities that you can do with the students. This is where you put all your content. Okay, so let me start with the simple one. This is a file. This is where you can put the PDF of your course outline.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. A folder is a collection of files. So it is like a zip.
Okay.
All right. A label is just a label. Okay, and you can use it to reorganize things, and I will show you how to do that. Okay, so let's say I'll create a label. Okay, called all right, and I'll just save it. Now you can see that under branding basics, I've got something called reading material. All right. Similarly, I will also create a label called all right. Now everybody also understands that you can move all these things up and down, right?
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, good. Now, under reading material, why is it become so slow? I'm sorry, it's like add an activity or course is just not working. Okay, it is still going round and round and round. I think my system is going to crash again. So Nandish sir, be ready.
What should I do, sir?
Nothing. In case I crash and when I come back in again, make me co-host again.
Okay, fine.
That's all. I am still waiting, and it is still going round and round and round.
Sir.
Yes.
We have to add questions and quiz and all that. So under each topic, should we add?
Madam, it is up to you. See,
Or-
sometimes what you can reorganize this in terms of all the reading material instead of branding basics. You can put all the quizzes here, quiz 1, 2, 3, 4 out here. You can put midterm and end terms out here, exams out here. Okay, it is up
Okay.
to you how you want to organize it.
Okay.
All right. These
Okay.
are these are big topics. These are small topics or subtopics, etc., etc. It is still going up and down, sir. I am not. I know that my system is going to crash. It's going to crash. So I'm just waiting for it to crash.
Sir, you have a predictability also in place.
No, sir, I don't. I mean, I live in a very horrible place where there is absolutely zero connectivity.
Sir, I can search one apartment in Brigade Meadows. Shift ho jayegi.
That is also true. I can do that. Take a, but then my children will
Provided
kill
madam
me.
agrees.
Madam will not agree, no? This is life. Okay, what can I do? It is still hanging around, sir. Okay, it has come. Very good. Now, the next thing is resources. We were talking about that. Now, if you have only one page of things to write, then you use a page. But if you have lots of pages, then you can start creating a book. Okay, with chapters and sub-chapters and table of contents and things like that. So this is a book. A book module allows you to create a multi-page resource. All right. And a page is a single page resource. Okay, before that, I will show you URL. URL means a link to a particular course, to a particular thing. Like, for example, if you want a YouTube video or something like that, you can put a URL here. Let's put a URL. Okay, name. Right? All right. So you can see this URL and I can move it here. I can even, I think, move it into various places that I want to move it. Okay. So anyway, I have put it out here. All right. So all reading material can be put out here. All tests can be put out here. Are you understanding this?
Yes.
All right. So similarly, let's say I want to put in a page. So this is where the whole idea was there, BKB sir. Okay, putting, here is a page. Okay, sorry, this is just a description. This is where the contents is. And of course, you can do a lot of drama with this. Bold it and increase the font and all that drama.
But what does this mean to the students, sir? Page?
Sir, I'll show you. Na? A page is basically when you are giving them a handout, na, sir?
Yeah.
So you can put the
Vaishali
handout here.
Madam is in the waiting room.
Oh.
Sorry?
Vaishali Madam is in the waiting room. Shall I
Vaishali
admit
Madam
her?
is in the waiting room. Yeah, please admit her, sir. Thank you very much.
No.
All right. So
Yeah.
this is the name of the page. Okay. This is a bit of a description about what is going to be there. And this is what your handout is. Are you clear, sir?
Yeah.
You can see that a description is not mandatory. So you can give the heading of your handout here and you can put all the content. So you can just cut paste from your Word and put it out here. Okay, and you can save it. So now you can see that this is also here. Okay, and you can again bring it into the reading material. Yeah, so all reading material for this particular chapter, you can start putting it out here. Are we clear on this?
Yes.
Okay, if I, for example, right now turn the editing off. Jaldi kar yaar. Sorry guys, this is like वो कौन सा train होता है? No, not express. What is it? Passenger train. Totally. My speeds are in kilobytes per second. Then suddenly it will do a sprint and then it will go to sleep again. So that is an unfortunate part of my life that I live with. All right. So I turned the editing off and you can see how this is. This is how the students are going to see it. Suresh sir, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
And if they click on this,
Yeah.
okay, they will see this.
What page we have created?
Whatever page we have created.
Okay.
So slowly you start bringing all your course material into this. And once you have done this, you are free of it. You can, next year, you can just copy this course. Okay, and you are ready. All right. Clear on this?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and you can see the breadcrumbs here. So you can go back to branding. And you are here again. All right, so I'm going to turn editing on again because now we come to the most important one, which is the tests. Okay, so now if I go back to orientation program, BKV sir, this basic accounting was created one as a page and the other it was created as a lesson. All right. Now, lesson is a very, very complex thing. Lesson allows you to create multiple pages and multiple tests and multiple choices, all of them in a very interactive way. And you can actually give points to a student and that becomes part of their marks. So you can actually make them navigate that if you have read this many pages, if you have done that many tests, then you are going to get that many marks. So if you want to say, for example, in branding, that the student has understood at least 50% of branding. So I will give them something to read. And if they read that page, then some marks will be given. If based on the reading of the page, they are going to answer some tests, if whatever marks they get in the test will become parts of that. At the end of it, in the lesson, you will get a compo